And hey everybody, this your girl Coach Classy Sassy with the Coach Classy Sassy Show, and we have an amazing guest today. We're on hawkradio.primostream.com with Chef Ken, and today we're going to talk a little bit about a luxury brand overcoming challenges and how he outweighed the odds. So with that being said, we're going to go to a quick music break. We're going to go a little bit of old school and not for the new food, because we're trying to be educated and informed. This is Giving You the Best That I Got by Anita Baker. We're back. This your girl Coach Classy Sassy with the Coach Classy Sassy Show, and we're on hawkradio.primostream.com, and we're with an amazing guest. We're with Chef Ken. Go ahead and introduce yourself and tell them a little about yourself.
How we doing? This is Chef Ken Stevens here. Born in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, until about age of 12. At that time, I moved to Tampa, Florida, to come live with my father, and pretty much spent the rest of my life here. Well-known entrepreneur, been doing this for a long time, 36 plus years, and enjoying every step of the way. Also, with my beautiful wife, Christiane, as my lifelong partner and my business partner, we've amassed a pretty sizable company, which engages in more so a lot of food items, restaurants, things of that nature. And we've set ourselves aside with one of the premier companies here in the Tampa Bay area.
And with that being said, we have a lot of blessings and a lot of lessons. And he actually blessed off of me and believed in me and sowed a seed. And the thing that makes him different from other people, he put his money where his mouth is, first of all. He pours back into the community. They said each one teach one. Each one person get one person, help one person, motivate one person. And that one person can motivate another person. And it'll spread like wildfire throughout the world. So, Chef Ken, tell us a little bit about your luxury brand.
Well, my brand, I've been in restaurants, as I said, for quite a long time. I've owned a number of different type of concepts, anywhere from soul food restaurants, barbecue restaurants, bakeries, hot dog, wing establishments. And we set ourselves, we kind of stay with the traditional types of foods. We don't go off the beaten path to the vegan and things of that nature. We just kind of stay with the traditional types of foods, which we've done for a tremendous amount of time. We've built on the other coast, Palm Beach County, we've built a tremendous business. I had quite a few restaurants over there by the name of Big Mama's Smokehouse Barbecue. We've had quite a bit of them in the Palm Beach area. We had in Wellington, Florida. We've had them in Palm Beach Gardens. We've had them in Plantation. And we've done a lot with that particular brand. And we've parlayed that into other brands as my called Hot Dogs Galore brand, which we're going to have some more coming open here in Tampa area. Well, we also have another brand called Not Your Mama's Cookies, which are pretty famous here in the area. With that bakery brand, we service about 85 car dealerships here in the Tampa Bay area, over 100 plus different businesses. And we also have Chef Ken's Sweet Sensations, which is that pretty much umbrella for all those types of bakery items. But we do all types of cakes, pies, sweet potato pies, red velvet cakes, apple pies, key lime pies, you name it, we do it. And one of the most important things that I like to do in terms of our brand is that we use real ingredients, no preservatives or anything in that. We take our time, we use real ingredients. And it's because I really want to eat quality products like I would want customers to do. So anything that I make for, say, listen, I'm not a dollar menu type person. We have a premium price on what we charge, but we use premium ingredients, real butter, real vanilla, real cane sugar. So we want to be able to translate that or parlay that into our customers and things of that nature. So everything that we do, every concept that I have, we based on the quality of food. I really have more quality food and quality customers than quantity. Because in this restaurant industry, 1 year is like 7 dog years. So for every 1 year, so it takes a lot of time, a lot of preparation, a lot of dedication in order to do the things that we do.
And let's get to the little statistics as well. We're going to, off of the SBA, Small Business Association, they said that 50% of new businesses fail within the first 5 years, and 22% of businesses and startups fail within the first year. And the top reasons why small businesses fail is cash flow problems.
Yeah, cash flow problem, especially for our community, which is the African American community, is it's always been a problem. You know, I'm a firm believer that we're good at starting businesses, but in terms of sustaining the businesses, it makes it a little bit challenging for us because of lack of cash for access to capital. I'm just a firm believer that for the African American community, this country wasn't created for our success. So we have to find alternative ways to try to overcome a lot of the obstacles that we have. And typically, in order to grow your business, expand, you need some type of access to capital. And we don't really have that in our community, which is extremely important and extremely sad. So it's almost a catch-22 situation with a system that wasn't created for you to achieve
and thrive.
Yeah, exactly, and thrive. A system that was created to suppress you. It's almost difficult to try to rise above that because you don't have all the necessary tools that you need in order to make it to the next level. As we said, you know, we see a lot of statistics where you're saying, you know, there's a high amount of percentage of businesses that are started, but as you go on in the years, those businesses greatly dwindle because they don't have the access to those types of funds or knowledge or how to sustain a business in order to keep it going, you know, years after years after years. So I think that's one of the major problems in the African American community. That's one I'm trying to dispel. I'm trying to overcome. I'm trying to work with a group of Black professionals in this area to try to overcome that, to surpass that, so that we have that access. And a lot of times, the way I see things is that we've bought into a system here. African American people have bought into a system here by which, as I said, it's not for us to succeed or made for us to succeed. So we get ourselves in debt. We have I think it was a 2.1 and 2.3 trillion dollar spending habit every single year, and we spend that money with other cultures within our culture, and or within our community. So we have to figure out a way to find businesses, you know, and not only just a business that kind of keeps you here, that's alive when you're alive, but something that can sustain over generations. We have to start manufacturing things, you know, in order to keep this business going. Because we can start a business right now. I have a lot of hair salon clients of mine that do extremely well, and barbers as well, but their business is only good as they are. It's not more of a scalable thing for them to do because it takes them to do what they need to do in order to succeed, but how can they scale the business? How can I do this so that this lasts generations and generations? So we have to start coming up with ways to manufacture things, and so that we can take that to the next level and be able to transition that over to our next groups of people who come out. Absolutely. So those are the kind of things that I look at, and having access to this capital is very important for us to be able to do that in order to do these types of things, because we can only go so far, okay, with what we have. So, you know, there's a lot of programs out there right now, you know, the government programs that, you know, from the naked ear sounds good. Hey, we're going to create this business and these funds to invest in African American businesses. But sometimes they make it too difficult. The underwriting guidelines are too difficult for anyone to approve that. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll give you this money, we'll back you, but I need you to cut off 2 legs, pull 2 teeth, and give me your firstborn in order to get the money. Oh. They make it so unobtainable for people. So hopefully the group that I'm dealing with now, we're trying to get together a group of professional, well-to-do people and say, hey, listen, Let's take a chance on this person. Let's take a chance on this person. She or he has a blueprint that we could look at. We see that they've done their homework. We're going to help them to succeed. You know, because when I look at things that go on in this country, I know there's a lot of wars out there that we fund and we send hundreds of millions and billions of dollars to, and I look at it's good to help other countries, but it's even better to help our people here. Let's take some of that money and help our people here. Let's invest into the African-American community here and take some of those hundreds of millions of dollars and help us to grow some sustainable businesses so that we can pass this on so that we don't have to be so far behind the eight ball. So those are the kind of things that kind of really get under my skin a little bit, and if we don't dig deep enough to see exactly the core of what we're doing and how we're not doing, how we have to surpass that, it's going to be an issue for us time and time again. I love my brothers and sisters from other countries that come here, but they're giving more opportunities to acquire things. They're giving more access to capital more than our African American brothers and sisters that are here right now. And as I see our community, we're just getting pushed further and further and further and back because we don't have those accesses to those types of things. So and that becomes a problem. And I'm trying to work hard to overcome that, to help those who are willing to be helped and want to be helped to kind of get past that and deal with these people who truly want to help. If you know the story about Bob Johnson, the founder of BET, he went to one of his friends who was a white guy and said that, hey, listen, the black community doesn't have anything that's, in terms of TV catered to black people. And I want to start that. And so what did he say? He said, well, Bob, what do you need? Bob said, I need about $500,000. Okay. He said, okay, I'll give it to you. I'll give you $500,000. I'll take 20%, Bob. You take 80%, but what happened in that situation, Bob didn't have any credit. He didn't have any money. He didn't have all these other things. He just had an idea and a relationship with someone that believed that, okay, I'm going to get behind you. I'm going to put my money where your mouth is. And now we know all what happened. They sold it to Viacom for $3-point-something billion. So that's what we need. It's not all about, having the perfect credit because, this country wants to keep us in debt. We don't know how to handle debt. We don't know what to do with debt. We just continue to get ourselves in debt and we can't pay the debt. And then we get bad credit. And then all these other things that fall into place where we cannot have access to money. So, okay, well, you have all these strikes against you. I can't give you this money, sir. Okay, but this is a system that you taught me. You taught me to go out and be in debt. You give me everything for free. You do this. So we have to educate ourselves. We have to spend more time educating ourselves and entertaining ourselves in order to make a difference in our community. And we need somebody that say, hey, listen, I believe in what you're doing. It's not about your credit. It's not about how much money you got. I'm going to invest X amount of dollars and we're going to work together to make this happen. That's where the change happens, if you ask me.
And the thing that you just explained that I was going to ask, what you just put in a bow tie, what is your biggest obstacle? And how do you think credit affects that change or challenge? Because, go ahead.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Well, as we talked about, that obstacle is the lack of access is for any, African-American business, the lack of access to capital and things of that nature. But I think that we have to, I went to a talk about a few weeks ago with a man by the name of Cedric Nash. He's an African-American man, very well-to-do, and he's doing what we're saying we're doing, is taking that interest in our community to help us to educate us about what we need to do and how we need to do it and the money that we need to get in order to do this. He speaks of the trauma that we have. He speaks of the trauma that African Americans go through, not only from slavery, from Jim Crow, from all these different things, all these trauma things that we've dealt with and still be able to, and still are here. But one of the major problems that I think for us is that African Americans, we don't trust one another.
Yeah.
Okay. We allow these major networks and all these other things to allow us to pit us against one another. So and we don't come together like the other cultures do.
Communities as well.
Absolutely, we don't do that. So those are one of our things. And I think you and I had a conversation about this, Aticia. One of the most discouraging things that I see, when you look at television and what we're doing and all these reality shows, how these shows have convinced us as Black people who have MDs or PhDs and all these other degrees behind our name to go on to a reality show, and all it is about drama. All it is about who talked about who did what to do and how this Black person is going to stab this Black person in the back and how they fight and all this other stuff. We buy into all that nonsense, and it bothers me. Yeah. Okay, because subconsciously what that's doing is that's for the people that is looking at that just says to us, hey, listen, you can't trust nobody that looks like you. This is what's going to happen. As soon as you make it to a certain level, this person's going to stab you in the back. So don't trust nobody that looks like you. And that's what this country wants us to continue to do. And continue to feed that. We watch more TV. African Americans watch, we should stop this. We watch more TV than anybody else. And every advertisement on that, it's geared toward us, whether they go out and absolutely
market,
go out and spend the money you don't have. Absolutely.
Psychographics.
Absolutely.
And the thing that makes it challenging for me, I suffer from that.
Yes.
I've had coaches who did me wrong. Mm-hmm. I've had bad business. But what my mother said, don't let the few mess up the many.
Absolutely.
Because they said, don't let one bad apple spoil the bunch.
Absolutely.
You have to take it out, put it to the side, let it get healthy, cut that part off, and keep going.
Absolutely.
And what that group did for me, back the Business Plan Plus set up the group. What she did for me was she actually sat me down and worked on the business plan. Mm-hmm. It's been, I was never a fan of a business plan, and my business showed that I didn't have a business plan. And just knowing what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, what are my opportunities, what are my threats, which is my SWOT. I know this, but to write it down on paper, they say write the vision and make it plain.
Absolutely.
And what you did for me was it let me know that I was undervalued, underpaid, and there's a thing called imposter syndrome, where you think you're not good enough, when you think you're not worthy enough. Have you ever suffered from that in your business or no?
No, I've always been very, let me just back up a little bit, give you a quick synopsis of what I did. My mother had me when she was very young. Okay, let's say 16 at that time. My mother had me when she was very young, and she struggled. She had me and 2 other kids. So it was a young mother trying to take care of 3 different kids until the time that I went to go live with my father, who, pretty much was the first one to go to college in his family. I tell people I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been on that side when you were struggling and, have no self-worth, have no value, and struggling and, on government assistance, 3 people living in a studio apartment in a queen size bed, not knowing what you're going to eat and when you're going to eat. And then I've been on the side when my dad was more successful and I saw all the accolades that he accepted by working hard. So when I transitioned at 12 to go live with my father, the value of who I was, I saw that there was value in who I was. Okay. He showed me that. And since then, I've never doubted myself. I never thought less of myself because first and foremost, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God, and God doesn't make any mistakes. So I am valuable. Things may happen outside of this world that may, bend us this way or that way, but it never allows me to doubt who I am and the value that I have. No matter what circumstances happening out here in the world, I still move forward. We've been through ups and downs. We've lost homes. We've been through bankruptcy. We've been through a lot of different things. Okay. But that still never stopped me from doing the things that I need to do because I had the value within myself. I know who I am. I know I'm not going to let this world or situations in this world define me. I'm going to dust myself off and I'm going to keep moving forward. And I think that's a very important factor. Everyone's like, I'm scared to fail. No, failure is the most important ingredient to success. Okay. And you may ask me, the things that you've gone through, everything that I've gone through, I'm so grateful for. Okay. Yeah. Because it brought me to where I'm at right here, right now, this point in time. So I can't complain about, lights getting cut off. I can't complain about cars getting repossessed. I can't complain about, overdrafting my checking account. Okay. Because all of those life lessons that God has allowed me to experience has got me to this point here and there, where I am confident in who I am. I don't work for money. Money works for me. And then I continue to move forward and believe in me and invest in me and my abilities to make things happen.
And I love that. And that's a good note to end on. But the thing that we learned about obstacles, we learned about challenges, and we learned about how you overcome the obstacle of making it past your first year, making it past 5 years. We're going to talk a little bit later about even more in the statistics behind that, because you're not a statistic, you're the exception to the rule. With that being said, we're going to go to a quick music break. What's Going On by Marvin Gaye. We're back. This your girl, Coach Classy Sassy, with the Coach Classy Sassy Show. And we have an amazing guest today. We have Chef Ken with us. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello, people. Chef Ken Stevens here.
All right. So we have a luxury brand, and he's mentoring me and giving me direction. And I asked him before, I said, can I ask you a question? My brother got it right. I got it wrong. So we 50-50 like up in here. You're the tiebreaker. So
right.
No pressure.
No pressure.
So my mentor, who makes $1 million and help people become millionaires, saying most people should become millionaires. Mm-hmm. She said that there's 3 levels that she had. She had the $100 level, the $1,750 level, $1,750, and she had the $10,000 level. Mm-hmm. She said she sold one in each one of those. Which one do you think was the hardest for her to sell?
Probably $100.
Yes. That was the hardest for her to sell because she had to convince people of her worth.
Absolutely.
And the one that was the easiest?
Easiest was the most expensive.
The $10,000 one.
Absolutely.
Was the easiest because she knew her value. She knew her worth. She knew who she was talking to. She knew why she was talking to them. She knew how to get their attention. And today she was on live and she was like, I see you. I'm like, you see me? She was like, you've been pouring into me for this whole time. She said, now if you see yourself the way that you see me, so you can still be here because,
yes.
You got to add to the pot.
Absolutely.
I don't mind giving. And it opened my eyes because she see me. I'm thinking the whole time I'm just posting and pushing and promoting and helping her. But she's actually pouring back into me. And other people see me too.
Absolutely.
Because when the leader acknowledged the young grasshopper, I was knee to a grasshopper. That lets me know that I was in the right direction. So what would be the best piece of advice, knowing the little bit that you know about me? We don't know each other extensively well, but from what you know, what would be the best piece of advice you would give me?
Well, my advice to you is to actually understand and know your value. Know that you are a quality brand as well. Know that and believe that. And Black folks, let me tell you this. We have to start investing in ourselves. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a university, to take 4.5 years to acquire a degree that most of us don't even use. Okay, when there's someone of quality like yourself, Mr. TC, and your brand and what you're building and your coaching comes to you and said, hey, listen, I'm going to charge you this. The information that I give you is greater than the information you're going to get in this 4-year university. I'm not downing going to college. I went to college myself. But what I'm able to see is that, hey, listen, if I pay you $5,000 and you give me all the knowledge, all the soup that I need to make it out there, okay, that's a lot less than the $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 that I'm going to pay at a university. So we got to start supporting our people like you that have that knowledge, that have gone through these things and these trials and tribulations that allow you to show your value and your worth. Okay, I'd rather pay somebody $100,000 to show me how to get to $10 million as opposed to paying $100,000 in college and I'm going out and trying to find a $50,000 job. You see what I'm saying? So you have to understand your value, and you can't be afraid to charge what you're worth. Don't question that. Your life experiences, like I tell people, I used to give all my time away to try to help our people. Okay, and I don't do that anymore. Someone comes to me and say, hey, Chef Ken, I'm thinking about this, listen, I'll give you 30 minutes of my time. Ask me any question you want. But I cannot afford to lose any more time because our time is the most precious thing that God has given us.
Valuable.
Absolutely. It's the most, and I will choose not to waste it on nonsense. If someone's listen, if you want more than that, then you got to go out and invest in yourself. You got to be ready to invest in yourself. Pay for that knowledge. Pay for that knowledge, because you can come and pay me or pay you a lot less than you'll pay the university, and you'll get more reward out of what I'm telling you, because I've gone out here, I've lived it. As I said, I'm the one that had the lights turned off. I'm the one that had the car repossessed. I'm the one that had to file bankruptcy. I'm the one that had to go through all these life lessons to be where I'm at right now, to gain the knowledge of what to do and what not to do. Okay? And that's worth something. See, we don't want to pay for that. We don't want to pay for that. So I would encourage any coach, anybody that's pouring into somebody's life, charge what you're worth. because the information that you have will be so much more valuable than anything they can ever get, pretty much in terms of life expectancy and life goals, than what the typical, university is going to give them.
So the thing that makes us different here at HCC, the thing that made me open my eyes after 20 years and say, I need that. They give application. They give you step by step. They give you on the job training. They give you real life world experience. They give you networking. They give you conferences. They give you all this stuff to supplement the education. Mm-hmm. Most people give you education information, but the thing that's different from HCC, at all of the campuses, over 42,000 students, 2,200 faculty and staff, what they do is give you real world application experience.
Absolutely.
They make it real. They make it raw. They put it in your face. They give you, even a show. Instead of just talking about it and reading it in books and taking tests, we're actually having a show. We're getting notes on how to interview someone, how many questions to ask, what to do, how to articulate yourself, how to dress, how to carry yourself. And the thing that I like about you the most is you're humble. You can see a problem, but you don't stop there. You see a solution.
Absolutely.
And if a person doesn't want to move towards that solution, you know how to say, okay, well, when you're ready, I'm here, but I have to move on because I have to go in my direction.
Absolutely.
Because you can't slow down progress.
Absolutely.
And the thing that I saw about you, your wife, the thing she did the best was pull me to the side, and she was just like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, let me introduce you to my husband, because she's in order. And I love that. I love specific order, the way you carry yourself, conducting business, being a power alpha female that trusts the leadership of another alpha male that doesn't have to yell, that doesn't have to argue. I saw that more. And then on top of that, you had a business, and you're making what you're making. The level in which I'm trying to navigate slowly towards get to the $1 million mark, I feel that you're authentic. Would you agree? Tell me why or why not.
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, let me not take all the accolades, because, as the old saying, I want to say behind every successful man is a successful woman. I don't consider my wife being behind me. She's side by side.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have been that for over 22 years. And, and she works just as hard as I do, and I want to acknowledge that those who are in, committed relationships, we're married for a long time. It's important to have that stability, because we balance each other. My wife knows what I'm good at, and she lets me do that. And I know what she's good at, and I let her do that. And that's what makes for a cohesive partnership between us both. She makes my job a lot easier, honestly. And she's supportive. And it's good that, we've been on the top of the top, and we've been on the bottom of the bottom, but our spirits have never been broken. Okay, we know what we're capable of doing, and we continue to work together and do that. We have 2 beautiful children, both are in college, and we try to instill in them the same thing of what we've learned. One thing that I go back and I look at it, Artesia, is this, is I said, I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been on that side where you're struggling, okay, and you're just living a real
paycheck to paycheck.
Yes, not even paycheck to paycheck. It's, it's even less than that. And then I've been on a side, and I saw a side, and God allowed me to see a side where my father worked extremely hard, put himself through college, got into the insurance industry, started owning a lot of insurance company. And I was able to, I went from a studio room.
Scarcity to abundance.
Absolutely. And, and I know what side of the fence I wanted to stay on. So it was important to be able to look at that, to be able to see those types of things. You talked a little bit about what HEC does here in terms of giving you that life experience. And when you're talking about being a coach, okay, that's what you're selling to these people. These people want to know, well, how can I move from here to there? Now, you, to be an effective coach, had to go through some things and learn some things, okay? And a lot of those things you went through caused you to smile. A lot of them caused you to cry. A lot of them caused you to doubt yourself. A lot of them caused you to to say, ask, is there a God? Okay. But now all those life expectancies have brought you back to who you are and what you're doing right now. And that's worth something. That has value. Okay. And our people, for our people that are out there, now there's some people out there that are just nonsense, are just in it for the money type situations and try to sell you, land in the Pacific if they wanted to. But for the core of what we're doing, and I'm telling this and I'm speaking to our brothers and sisters of African American descent, we have to take a person like yourself and understand that the value that you offer is so much more rewarding than anything. And we can't be hesitant to pay for that. Okay. Everything has a cost. Nothing's free. Okay. And when you start giving away for too little of a money, then people are going to question. Okay. And as I said, my company is based on a premium product. We charge a premium price for what we do. Okay. Because I believe that's what it's worth. Okay. And if I go out and start selling a dozen cookies for $1, it's not that, we can't make it like that. So those are some of the things that I think that when you're dealing with people and you're trying to understand your value, you should always learn to love yourself. Love yourself. God has created you so perfectly. And you have to understand that. You can't get so caught up inside the world where you start to doubt this and doubt this about you and doubt this about yourself, or say you're not good, you're not this, you're not that. You have to learn to love the inner you. You have to learn to say, hey, listen, this is who I am. This is who God has created. And I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to take as many people as I can along with me. And sometimes, you can't take that many people. People come in your life, or people come in here for a season or for a lifetime, and it's up to you to choose which one is going to go. But you have to keep moving forward. We have to come together as a people. We have to be there to support one another, and it's all about, and the thing that it bothers me so much at TC is this. We are our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. We look to live a good and healthy and vibrant lifestyle, but we don't support one another enough.
Yeah.
We don't support one another enough. We don't believe. Absolutely. It's almost like sometimes it's like, well, I got mine, you get yours. No.
Or I don't want to see you how I succeed. I don't want you doing good, but not better than me.
Exactly. My belief is that, listen, I want for my brother and our sister for what I want for myself. That's my true belief. I want for my brother and my sister what I want for myself. Okay. And sometimes our brother and sisters don't want for themselves. Okay. We gotta get out of debt. We gotta start building something significant. We gotta start
legacies.
Absolutely.
That word keep ringing in my ear. Like, I don't have children.
Yes.
I don't want children.
Yes.
Because of health reasons.
Yes.
It'll put my life at danger.
Yes.
So dating and trying to find a man that understands that I don't want children, because my life 3 times I almost died. I don't want to make it a 4th, and my doctor said I would have to be hospitalized for all 9 months if I do get pregnant. So with that being said, I was trying to get a beneficiary for a life insurance policy.
Yes.
And my stepmother was like, I don't know if I trust putting her on your policy because for whatever reason. And I thought to myself, I said, I have to build a legacy, and I want to pass it on.
Absolutely.
I said, even if it's to a friend, maybe even a foe,
absolutely,
you have to pass it on, because if you don't, it'll go in probate.
Absolutely.
And that's hard to snatch back from.
Absolutely.
And what I learned, even as I left the check, when I went to the military, I left my last check, and they kept trying to give it back to me, and I said I didn't want it because I never wanted to go back for a check.
Yes.
But my mother was like, you claim what's yours. You worked for that. You own that. And she said, all those lessons that it taught you, keep going.
Absolutely.
Keep pushing.
Absolutely.
Don't turn your back on who you used to be because of who you used to be.
Absolutely.
And the thing that you taught me is just keep putting one step in front of the other one.
Absolutely.
It's okay to care about people.
Absolutely.
Because every time I get on here, I cry because I want for them more than they want for themselves.
Absolutely.
I keep giving compliments because I pour into the people who usually don't know that they're loved.
Absolutely.
And to hear that same message mimicked from you, I'm actually tearing up and I keep choking because it's like a part of me want to be happy, but a part of me know there's a lot of work to be done.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you were to say, what is one thing that we can do today to push the needle forward, what would that one thing be? Just one.
I think first, I think love yourself, as I said before, because love conquers all. Love and understand who you are. Love yourself, because if you learn to love yourself, that means you can go out and conquer the world. Okay? Never doubt yourself. Love yourself. Look in the mirror and say, look at yourself and say, I love you. There's nothing that you cannot do. Okay, you're going to go out here and we're going to conquer the world. Don't allow yourself to get so manipulated by this system. And that's what we do day in and night. Educate yourself more than entertain yourself. That's how we move forward. That's how we move. Spend more time. If we spend more time educating ourselves, reading knowledge, seeking the knowledge from those who have been there, than sitting at there looking at, my dad used to call it the boob tube, it'll be amazing how much further we'd be. Okay, so we have to love ourselves first. And when you truly love yourself, you won't allow yourself to be taken by all this other nonsense. You won't allow yourself to be distracted, because you know the inner core of you, what you're all about, and the things that you're destined to do, and you're not going to let anything stop that. You're going to continue to move forward and love yourself and believe, first and foremost, thank God for everything you have. Wake up every morning looking for the positive that God has given you. I woke up this morning. Nothing else mattered. God gave me life. There's a lot of our brothers and sisters didn't wake up this morning. Okay, we woke up this morning. So nothing else matters. No problem. God has given me life for today. And God, I'm going to live my best life because tomorrow's not promised to anybody. Okay, we have to be here today with hopes of being here tomorrow. So I'm so thankful that my God loves me. With that love that I have, I tell my wife and my kids, I love God more than I love you, and I want you to do the same. Because God is our common denominator, surpasses anything. Okay, so, but basically, as I said, just love yourself. Truly understand what love means. Love yourself enough that you can go out and because if you don't love yourself, I mean, I don't know, how could you really make it? To love means to believe in yourself, your abilities, who you are. Okay, stand tall, shoulders back. You know, if you don't do that, how can you make it out here? Because everything outside in this world is looking to beat you down. And this world's going to keep spinning, whether you're standing on top of it or laying down flat underneath it. But I choose to stand on top of it.
Okay, and with that being said, we're going to go on break. This is talkradio.primostream.com, and today our last song is Dance with My Father. Hey everybody, this is your girl Coach Classy Sassy with the Coach Classy Sassy Show, and we have an amazing guest, Chef Ken. Tell the people a little bit about you.
Once again,
something that nobody knows.
Oh yeah. Something that nobody knows. I don't bring out those secrets like that. No.
You don't have to. We can keep them this close.
No. I think I'm a pretty much an open book. My name is Chef Ken Stevens. Entrepreneur for many, many decades. Owned a number of different types of businesses. Car washes, restaurants, trucking companies, cleaning companies. You name it, we've done it. I build my business with my beautiful, beautiful wife, Christiane, and my kids too. My kids have been, they can tell you, they've been working in the restaurant since they've been born. They were actually almost born in the restaurant. So, so I'm just a man of God, loving life, enjoying everything that God has provided for us, being thankful for all the blessings that we've had, and just trying to make a difference in our community.
And that's a good thing because we need it. I'm going to give a little bit more statistics and see how you overcome this challenge that we have. Muzar actually explains that there's over 627,000 new businesses open each year. And in contrast, about 595,000 businesses close each year. And you overcame all that throughout the years, my whole life, to be honest. And that's a blessing. Keep going a little bit further. They said 82% of small businesses fail because of cash flow problems. 42% fail or find insufficient need for a product or service. 29% run out of cash. 23% don't have the right team. 19% are outdated. So you were able to be relevant, to have cash flow, to balance your books, as well as get the capital and funds that you need. You overcome all of those challenges. And we stand here and see you today as a reputable luxury brand.
Well, I appreciate that, Artesia. You know, one of the things I want to bring to your attention is that all those statistics that you read off, I've experienced every last one of them. Mm-hmm. Okay. But my business continues to flourish. We've gone through those ups and downs. We've gone through, not having enough cash. We've gone through having to close on a few businesses. We've gone through the ins and outs and, ups and downs of business. But I still sustain my core business of what I'm doing. What I've had to learn to do, I've had to learn to create arms of my business to produce the cash flow that I didn't have access to. So, I'd always tell people I can make money. Okay, that's not a problem. But when you don't have the access to really scale your business, then the next thing that says, I'm not a person that says, well, I don't have access, so I'm going to give up, tuck my tail, and run and cry in the corner. No, I said, well, how do I get access? Absolutely. What do I create in order to get that? Because we're all living on OPM, other people's money. Okay. You use other people's money to make. So I had to figure out a way to create my own nest egg. It may not have been starting out a big nest egg to create, but I allowed that to grow and grow and grow so that I'm able to fund my thing. I don't depend on anybody for my success, but myself and God. Okay. So I'm able to fund I may fund little projects here and there, but collectively, this project may make $250,000. This project may make $1 million. This project may do $500,000. This project may do $10,000. But collectively, I've got these little things, these little arms that gives me a surplus of income to do the things that I need to do and continue to build my business the way it needs to be built. So don't look at obstacles as I can't do it.
Look at them as opportunities.
Absolutely.
To succeed, and that's the way I was going to wrap it
Absolutely.
Up. But go ahead and tell the people how to get in contact with you, your socials.
Absolutely,
anything.
Absolutely. Well, right now we're building revamping our websites. If you like to leave your information and be notified of when a few of my projects are coming up, I tell you, I got a few projects coming up. It's Dining with Chef Ken, which is an event type place that we are going to prepare a 5-course meal and pick a select few people to come and based on some comedy, some jazz or things of that nature. We also have Skyrocketing Success with Chef Ken, which is the podcast that we're doing. We're talking about all things about business and interviewing those people and trying to help our people get to the next level. But until then, go to chefkenstevens.com. And Stevens is spelled STEPHENS. Go to chefkenstevens.com and put your email and your information in there. It's a parked page right now because we're working on the main website. But put your information in there and your email address, and we'll notify you as soon as our other things are coming up. We've got a few other restaurants that we're looking to get coming up here in the Bay Area so that we are going to promote them as franchises. And those are Not Your Mama's Cookies, Center Swirls, Chef Ken's Hot Chicken, and also Hot Dogs Galore. So those are some of the restaurant concepts to look for. And you can also find us at Chef Ken's SweetSensations.com. That'll give you an insight of all our desserts that we do: red velvet cake, sweet potato pie, cookies, cakes, you name it, we got it.
And he gave me a sample, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. It's been an amazing interview. I would like to say first, thank you for this amazing opportunity to have you on our show on hawkradio.primostream.com. And thank you so much for joining us, Chef Ken.
Thank you, Aticia. It's been a pleasure.
We appreciate and accept your time and your knowledge. And this wraps up the edition of Coach Classy Sassy Show with me, Coach Classy Sassy, on hawkradio.primostream.com. Don't forget to tune in and listen next week, same time, same place. We do it every Wednesdays at 10 o'clock and the Artesia Solo Show every Friday at noon. So be blessed, be loved, and everyone, most importantly, be you.